Hi, how are you doing? It's me, the Black Eagles enthusiast. Last time on Moveset Mods, I remade Byleth's Smash moveset, and now I'm here to give her wife the same treatment. This is Moveset Makeup, where I take a character who isn't in Smash yet and see how they could potentially play if they did get in. Today's episode features the Black Eagle Strike Force, headed up by Edelgard. Normally they'd be led by Byleth, but as they're already in the game, we'll say this is appearances here and there. But wait, with so many characters, how will that work? Well, to emphasize the cooperation needed in Fire Emblem, I've decided that they all hang out in the background, aside from Edelgard, and when they're needed for attacks, they get warped in by Linhardt, the support character of the group. Normally this is a somewhat slow to come out animation in-game, but in this moveset I'm going to shorten it to only a couple frames to make sure everything runs smoothly. But how will this moveset be organized? Well, remember when Byleth was revealed and their gimmick was having specific weapons matched to their own directions and how it was basically useless and didn't add anything? Well, taking after their professor, they'll be doing just that. Ferdinand, the Wyvern Lord, will take upwards moves, Bernie, the Sniper, will have sideways moves, Hubert, the Warlock, will have downwards moves, and Elle, the Emperor, will have the neutral moves. I decided on this because I felt it would be a good strategic decision as they each have their own strategies and their own strengths. It just made sense. Now, onto the moveset. For their jab, Edelgard swipes right, then left, then right again, and finally down for a fairly slow jab with a bunch of damage. I decided to reference the Hunter's Axe basic combo from Bloodborne. As Edelgard has such a slow speed, she's never going to be able to attack more than once per combat encounter, which is what I did for Byleth. Now, for their dash, I've got something interesting. For the dash, Ferdinand warps in, grabbing Elle's hand and pulling her onto his wyvern. And for the dash attack, Ferdinand stabs forward with his lance before being warped away a second later, dropping Edelgard back onto the ground. For their forward tilt, Bernadetta swipes forward with an arrow in hand, dealing small damage but having a surprisingly large amount of hit stun. For the up tilt, Ferdinand warps in and spins his short spear above his head, dealing multi-hitting damage. This is similar to Sora and Joker, as well as Robin's up smash. Now for the down tilt, Hubert, ever the assassin, swipes low to the ground with a small knife, tripping enemies if it hits. This also has a chance to inflict poison on the opponent. This is less of a full-on reference to anything he does, but he does plot several assassinations throughout the game, so I figured it fit. The forward smash can be a powerful slash forward with Amir, referencing the critical hit animation for axes. The up smash can be a jumping overhead slash with an iron lance, referencing one of the lance critical hit animations, done by Ferdinand. For the down smash, Hubert hovers backwards, spinning before slamming his hands together, casting Death, referencing the Warlock critical hit animation. This does massive damage and knockback. Jumping into the aerials, Edelgard spins Amir around here, which references her basic combat animation with the axe. This would be a good combo tool, but it would deal quite a bunch of damage. The forward air and back air both have Bernadetta shooting an arrow in the direction chosen. However, for the forward air, the arrow falls down relatively quickly afterwards, and for the back air, it goes directly backwards at an incredibly quick speed, not falling down at all. This references both her dodge animation with the bow and her critical hit animation. The up air has Ferdinand slashing his lance upwards before letting it drop back down, being a two-hit attack. This references one of his support chains with Petra, where he tells her to let gravity draw the lance down instead of using energy up, swiping downwards. Hubert casts Dark Spikes, having 4 Dark Spikes slam down into each other, spiking when they reach their middle point. This would be a fairly disjointed down air, but also quite precise if you want the spike's sweet spot. It would be extremely powerful if it did hit, though. Now, for the grab, we get another extra reference, having Caspar coming out to grab the opponent. As for why he doesn't come out in any of the other moves, he can act as Edelgard's adjutant, which is a system in Fire Emblem Three Houses that lets you assign basically a sidekick to one of your units, and they've got a chance to do an extra attack or some other effects that aren't really pertinent. For the forward air, Caspar punches the foe forward before Bernadetta jumps up and shoots them with her bow for a little extra range and damage. The back throw has Caspar punching the foe before dodging behind them and kicking them away, referencing multiple different gauntlet attacks. For the down throw, Hubert traps the foe in place with dark magic before Caspar uses combat art Slam on them, knocking them away and dealing massive damage. The up throw has Caspar uppercutting the foe, with Ferdinand catching them in his wyvern's talons, flying up, and then slamming into the ground. This is a great kill throw. For the specials, starting with the neutral B, Edelgard uses the combat art Raging Storm, Amir's specific combat art, spinning wildly around twice in a circle with Amir held out to her side before slamming it down in front of her. Once the head of the axe hits the ground, there is a small shockwave hitbox that deals 3 extra hits of multi-hitting damage, though it is noticeably weaker than the other parts of the move. This extra range is somewhat similar to Ike's fully charged eruption as well, getting smaller the further they go out. This would be able to be charged for extra range and extra damage. The move would also be great for 2-framing and getting kills, especially if you hit the sweet spot on the axe head. For their side special, Bernadetta shoots an arrow forward that soon curves in a chosen direction. If the side special is input again, she will shoot another arrow, stronger this time, that does not curve, referencing various bow combat arts such as Curved Shot, Hunter's Volley, and Heavy Draw. The down special has Hubert using the gambit Resonant Lightning, his signature gambit. It calls down lightning around him in Edelgard with a massive area of effect that stuns anyone hit by it before launching away. This does quite a bit of damage, as well as slowing down a character's movement for a little bit afterwards, though not by much. Finally, for the up special, Ferdinand grabs Edelgard's hand as he does in the dash animation, drawing her onto his wyvern before flying in a chosen direction. In this up special, the entire wyvern is a hitbox, though it's not a very strong one. Unless you're right next to the blast zone, you're not going to be getting any kills with it. It is purely meant for a recovery, and it goes quite a fair distance. And now, for the final smash, everyone warps in around Edelgard, flanking an opponent, acting as an activation hitbox. Edelgard then uses her signature gambit, Raging Flames, causing a gambit boost and launching a cart of explosives at the target with a massive area of effect and tons of damage, especially near the middle. And now, for the Black Eagle's alternate colors, they can be split into 2 separate alternate models, 4 of them with the pre-time skip model, and the other 4 with the post-time skip model. Their default appearance can be each the students in their monastery uniform, in their pre-time skip look, with each alternate costume being a different class they can take. Starting with costume 5, they will switch to their post-time skip design. Alternate 5 can be their base monastery outfit after the time skip, and then they have 3 other alternate class options. For taunts, the up taunt can have Ferdinand on foot instead of his wyvern, raise his spear up, and say, "I am Ferdinand von Eyre." The side taunt can have Bernadetta hiding behind Edelgard under her cape, with Edelgard protecting her and trying to console her. Finally, the down taunt can have Elle give an order to Hubert before he bows and warps away. For victory animations, they can have one where they all share a feast together, one with each of them with their respective partners, Hubert with Ferdinand, Linhart with Caspar, Bernadetta with Petra, and Elle with Byleth, all laughing and talking, and finally one with them having a group sparring session with the entirety of the Black Eagle's house. So, yeah, that's the Black Eagle Strike Force for you. I've gotten really into this game recently, so don't be too surprised if I make another video on this game soon. This video was really fun to make, even if getting all the footage was harder than I had expected. And if you liked it, feel free to subscribe. Have a nice life. I'll see you next time.